trying to open up the vertebrae a little bit. They're all like kind of glued together and they won't rotate. Yes.
Wow.
There you go. That bone hasn't moved in a long time.
Wow, yeah. Yeah.
It shouldn't require 15 minutes of digging to get that atlas working.
Man, I've never had anyone pop the top of my neck before. That was really,
Yeah, we got it. You did good.
no, you did good.
You did good. I know you said you've been going to a chiropractor. Tell me what they've been treating, what you've been feeling a little bit.
They do the normal chiropractor stuff. They just make an adjustment. They put me on a bed with a roller thing for a couple of minutes.
On your back?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it's come back a couple of weeks.
Has anybody ever talked about your posture or curves in your spine or?
No.
No. And they said you had an MRI a long time ago, had some disc injury that was on it.
Mm-hmm.
Was that your lower back or neck or both? Or?
It was, yeah, the neck and the lower back.
Okay. And do you feel anything currently down your legs or arms? Do you have any numbness or tingling or pain?
No, but
Okay.
I'm in pain right now in my neck and in my back.
Just show me exactly where right now.
Right here
Okay.
and right here.
In the lower back?
In the lower back.
Okay, so in between the shoulder blades, kind of
Mhm.
in between here,
Yes.
and then kind of right the waistline,
Yes.
lower back. Okay.
More so on this side of the lower back.
Okay.
Mhm.
And how long has that been going on? Those have been for a while, or?
Too long.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe 10, 15 years.
Okay.
I guess my bones are like this or whatever in my back.
The cartilage, yeah.
Yeah.
They say that's the reason for that pain.
Yes.
Okay. And then we'll clear it all for you. So local pain is just joint. The nerves, when you hit the nerves from the disc, you're going to have radiating pain. So if it was the disc or bone spur or bulging disc hitting the nerve, it would be foot, hand.
Mm-hmm.
It won't be spinal. Local pain is going to be joint. So just the knuckles in your spine are stressed out. That's based on your posture and mobility.
Okay.
So we're supposed to have a curve, and this is what saddens me because you've been to going to chiropractors and nobody mentioned to you the word lordosis or curve or that it's valuable or what do we do to get it back, because if you had the curve, you wouldn't have those pains. Those pains are a result of the curves not being there. Your neck is supposed to be curved, your lower back is supposed to be curved. That allows the weight to be spread out over all the segments.
Okay.
When the curve goes straight, like a ladder, all the weight goes right to the bottom. And you just told me, I know you had a 3-hour drive to get here, and thanks for getting here, but 3 hours is a lot of time for all the stress to be going right down to your lower back. And I'm going to show you some things when you're sitting in your car, how to keep some curve in there, and I promise you it's going to divert some stress away from where you're hurting,
Okay.
and we're going to put it somewhere. Somebody's got to hold the hot potato. Somebody's got to carry the burden.
Right.
Let's just not have it all centered in two areas. So these are the knuckles between the vertebrae. When the joints in your neck hurt, they will give you pain to a distant site. We call this referral pain.
Okay.
Okay, so that pain in between your shoulder blades, it can be rib heads, and I'll check that out in a second. It probably is that a little bit too. There's probably some overlap, but a majority of that is going to be referral pain from inflammation of the lower neck.
Okay.
So the lower neck being overstressed, hopefully the chiropractors aren't adjusting that. Let's not do that because they're overstressed. We don't want to further stress them. Let's try to work on where your neck is supposed to work, which is your upper neck. Let's get your upper back working, your upper neck working, and remove some of the stress off that. No heat on that. Worst thing would be to have your chin down in a hot shower, heat hitting that lower neck. Don't do that.
Okay.
If you've been doing that, let's not do that.
I do it a lot. Actually.
Heat's going to swell up an area. So if you have a sprained ankle and it's swollen, if you put heat on it, it's going to swell more.
Right.
So you have injured joints. That's what that pain is. They're swollen inside. So the joint is where these two surfaces connect.
Okay.
That's the joint. And this joint in the lower neck, the joints in the lower neck will give you shoulder pain, very specifically, usually right in here.
Mm-hmm.
This is referral pain. So the neck is designed to work from the upper neck first and the lower neck last. When there's a curve in your neck, this model does a really good job of showing how loose the upper neck is. There's no disc up here. Your neck is primarily designed to work up here. The lower neck, see how it doesn't move very much? The lower neck is not supposed to do very much. In order to utilize the lower neck first, you have to first lose the curve in your neck. That unlocks the lower neck and makes the lower neck the first initiator of movement.
Okay.
And so your lower neck's been the first to arrive and the last to leave for as long as you haven't had a curve in your neck, which who knows, because
Right.
nobody even cared about it or valued it and told you that it was valuable. And so let your head go back for me. Just look up at the ceiling. Okay. Does that cause a lot of pain?
No.
Okay. All right. And then look straight forward for me. Okay. So if you come, you stay right there. Let your head go back slowly. There's one, stop right there. There's one primary fold in your neck right here. This is where all the bending happens. And right here, C5, C6 area is what's going to refer pain into the shoulder blade. So what we're going to do today is we're going to try to work below and above to move the stress off where he's folding here in your lower neck. And then at the end of the visit, show you some things to do at home to keep some of that curve. We lost the curve because of years looking down and sitting and driving here and
Right.
time bent forward. We have to counter stretch in order to bring the curve back. This model does a good job of showing where I come into play. If I just bend people back, there's a danger that we just bend too much around the areas that are frozen. So this area is not moving, and you see how we pinch these two areas? So the idea is to get adjusted so that it bends evenly.
Right.
And this curve in your spine called the lordosis is what's going to allow your spine to last long and to prevent disc injury from getting worse, from more and more heightened levels of disc injury, herniations. Have you had numbness or tingling or pain in the arms before?
I have the fingers down my legs.
When was the last time you felt those type of things?
Oh, that's been years.
Okay.
Yeah, that's been years.
So part of what's going on then, you're young enough. Let me show you one last thing before I work on you. The discs are injured. We already know that from MRI. Discs do not heal. They can be rehydrated. They can be retracted a little bit, but any injury to the disc is permanent. When you bend forward, I want you to watch the size of this hole. See how it gets bigger?
Yeah.
So what can happen is, part of what you had numbness and pain, tingling, and your body is what? Oh, there we go. It's all gone. So it's still there,
Right.
but you're avoiding it. And this is the important thing you need to understand, that it really isn't gone. It's just you've leaned away from it, and part of why your posture is forward is because of that avoidance. And as we bring your body upright, we have the worry that we're going to run into stuff a little bit. The goal is to not, when I bring you back upright, I don't make the injured area do it. I make your middle back do it where it's not injured. But the hole gets larger when you bend forward. They call it the intervertebral foramen. So you had symptoms, your body shifted the posture, you got relief. Does that make sense?
Yeah. That makes
If we went and took an MRI, those disc injuries are still there, but they're being avoided. The more you bend forward, the more you compress the disc, which makes the disc bulge out more, which then makes you need to have to go farther forward to see how this feeds itself to the
Eventually
point.
you hump over. Okay.
So this, it looks like a handshake a little bit. These two surfaces slide over each other.
Right.
When our hands are overlapping, wow, she's strong, man. All right, you're fine. You have a lot of power here. But if we separate, do you see how we can't have much power to pull on each other?
Right.
If we don't have the contact? So when the joint separates, its strength goes down.
Okay.
Muscles will try to hold everything together, and there's a lot of doctors that are going to teach you strengthen your core and make your muscles stronger.
Right.
But that's only because the alignment's not right. Do you understand?
Right.
The stability is supposed to come from the curve,
Okay.
not from muscles being tight. But if you're in the wrong alignment, now you're dependent on muscles to hold everything together. Well, isn't that good, Ed? It's not a thing of good or bad. It shouldn't be needed. You
Right,
understand?
right.
And muscles fatigue. Right now you have all this lactic acid and soreness in your muscles because they're trying to hold everything together instead of just having the right posture. The disc is a produced substance like enamel on your teeth. It very similar to the meniscus in your knee. Any tears to this. So in order for let me get the other model to better explain. So you have the nucleus. The disc is made of two materials. The nucleus pulposus is a center core wrapped in about 23 to 25 layers called the annulus fibrosus that wrap, if that makes sense, the center core here.
Right.
Once the disc has burrowed through and now is outside the outer annulus, we call that a herniation. So a bulge means some of those layers are still intact, right? So let's say 10 of the 25 layers are cut through, that's a bulge. Herniation means all 25 layers are cut through, and now the center disc core is outside of the outer annulus, okay? The disc material doesn't want to be out here, and if we depressurize the front part by opening up the front, the disc will go back forward away from the back, if that makes
Okay.
sense. But the ability for the disc to re-go back out, the pathway's already there. You've already created the road for it to exit. That isn't repairable. So like a cavity in a tooth, the decay is there, it's burrowed a hole in the tooth. We can stop chewing on it, we can stop feeling it, but that decay is
But it's
still in the
there.
tooth.
Right.
And so I'm not using that, it's not hopeless. You can definitely get out of symptoms, but we need to be clear that this is this is why they're doing stem cells and they're trying to find ways of regrowing discs. They're, at this point in time, we have to rehydrate them. They dry out, looks like a piece of bacon. They get cooked and they dry up. And so we're trying to renutrify them. This model here shows a tear in the annulus so that the annulus is torn and the disc is going to start burrowing through.
Okay.
And then obviously we have nerves, so that as the disc comes out, it hits the nerve here, or the
Right.
spinal cord if it's central.
I know I'm a bigger guy too.
You're fine.
I know that has something to do with it as well.
I don't know how much I fall
Well,
prey to
they've
that.
told me that.
It's okay, I know. I'm going to clear up everything for you. But if that were true, then I should only have large people in my office. And I have plenty of small people with large problems. Do you understand? I have never been able to say that age and weight are the reasons for back problems.
Right.
It's alignment and mobility, whether you're a large person or a small person. Do you understand? Whether you're a Miata or a giant F-350. You understand? The alignment of the tire matters. Whether you're a small vehicle or a big vehicle, you need the curve in your back, you need the curve in your neck, you need to have all 24 vertebrae moving evenly.
Right.
Okay, so they like to prey on that one, but I don't see it. I've been doing this 15 years. I don't see.
Right.
Then why do I have 110-pound, 5'2" tiny people coming in here with disc herniations? Do you understand?
Right.
They don't have any weight. They didn't do
Right.
anything. And they have bad alignment.
Right.
They have no curve in their back. The candle that burns twice as bright burns half as long. So we got to balance the weight and stresses on the spine over all the segments.
Right.
That's where the adjustment, the massage, the stretching ultimately comes into play, where the stretching retains the work that I'm about to do to you. So we're going to go through your spine, unlock the parts that are tight, leave alone the parts that are injured. You just got done telling me it hurts you around the right lower. Let's leave it alone. It's a sprained ankle. But the lower back needs the assistance of the areas around. Arms. Bend both the knees for me. All right, take a little deep breath in for me, and then sit up, and then head back for me. Exhale. Let it all go. Here we go. Deep breath in. It's okay. Head back. Exhale. Good. Deep breath in. It's okay. Head back. Exhale. Good. It's okay. Stay there. Stay there. All right. Breathe for me. I got you. Exhale. Good. Good. Let's go this side for me. This side. The goal is to move the joint below the lower back.
Okay.
So if they're in here pulling and pushing on your lower back, not do that. All right, I got you. Exhale. Good. Can you stop for me? All right. Real gentle. Here we go. Mm-hmm. There we go. A little deeper. I got you. Yeah, a little tight there. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Yeah. A little tight up here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I've never had it done up here. It's
Yes, sir.
always down
Yes, unfortunate.
in the bottom.
Because your left side of your neck is all locked.
Right.
And that's the problem. If that moved beautifully, I'd be confused. The upper neck is what's tight. That's what's allowed you to overstress your lower neck.
Okay.
It's unfortunate that everybody's trying to adjust your lower neck. The area that's already mobile, the area that's already injured, the joints are injured in your lower neck from hypermobility. Further adjusting them further feeds that narrative of being hypermobile. You understand? Being over mechanically utilized.
Uh-huh.
We're trying to balance your spine. Your upper neck, I got your head. I know. Wow, a lot of guarding up here. I wanted to adjust you cold. Why didn't you massage me first, Ed? I wanted to see how much you're at, because you've been adjusted. I wanted to see how much your atlas is working, and the answer is not well, which is why you're here. If this was functioning, which is supposed to do about 50-60% of the work of your neck, you wouldn't have that symptom of shoulder blade, in between your shoulder blade pain. Does that make sense?
Right.
That's from your lower neck being overworked, overstressed.
Like I said, they do the
Lower
it's
neck.
all at the lower.
Right, so they're in the wrong area. See, an area that doesn't work doesn't age. And when we look at it on an X-ray or MRI, the medical world says the word unremarkable because it hasn't aged. I actually say it's remarkable that it hasn't aged. That in and of itself is remarkable, that an area isn't aging, hasn't been stressed at all. Why isn't there any stress on your upper neck? Well, it's tight. When I had you sitting there and I had you look up, all the bending was happening in your lower neck. Your neck is aging unevenly. As I bring your head back, that'll make the joints feel better, but now all of a sudden your arm starts.
So they're getting that tingling
Ed,
again.
my neck feels better, my shoulder blade's gone, but now my elbows feel something. Do you see how this works?
Right.
This is where a lot of chiropractors, I don't think, want to do this work, because you have to navigate, you have to thread the needle.
Right.
You understand? It's about bringing you as far upright as I can to make the joints happier while the disc rehydrates so that we don't hit the nerve again. It's not a, wham, you're all fixed in one visit. You understand? It's a process of restoring the natural alignment, first restoring the mobility. I can't reshape hard clay.
I've never even done this.
Okay, you're fine.
Before,
You're
so
fine.
I'm really
It's okay.
wondering what's.
Yeah, it's frozen. Your upper neck's
Right.
frozen. It's simple.
I mean, I see you do it online, and that's why I came. Because I'm like, this stuff that I see you doing, and your sister,
Yep.
and other people. I've never experienced that before. I pay good money to go to the chiropractor.
Yep. You're supposed to have a V8, but you're running on only 2 cylinders or 4 cylinders, and you're wondering why you're.
Engine about to blow.
Well, you're not getting good horsepower, right? You're like, this
Right.
thing. Why am I not getting what I'm supposed to get out of this engine? Well, you don't have all the cylinders working. You have to go in here and put some WD-40, some penetrating oil, some PB, and try to unlock and restore the function to the atlas. So 24 vertebrae, 2 got names. The vertebral prominence can be C7 or T1. Anyway, somebody like the vertebral prominence. Forget about that. So most of the time it's one or the other. But my point is that 2 vertebrae got a name. Atlas and axis in the upper neck. Every other vertebrae, the other 22 didn't get names. The atlas is the first vertebrae, the axis is the second one. Mm-hmm. The neck is designed to work up here first, and your neck needs to be curved. I'm trying to open up the vertebrae a little bit. They're all like kind of glued together and they won't rotate. So I'm trying to separate them, not for the purpose of straightening your neck, but just trying to unlock the vertebrae a little bit. Your occiput's like glued to your atlas. There's not much separation up here.
So what caused that?
Just time, forward head posture, loss of curve, and not having me in your life. Not having good chiropractic.
Well, when you move down to Miami, man, that'd
I
be great.
know. I wish. I'm sorry, but all right, I got your head. Come on. Right there. Come on. Yes.
Wow.
That bone hasn't moved in a long time.
Wow, yeah. Yeah.
It shouldn't require 15 minutes of digging to get that atlas working. See, I think, Eddie, if you went on my lower neck, you might get some pops down here. I know I could. I don't want to. Do you understand?
Right.
I don't want to I'm not going to adjust you. I don't want to have my hand down here in your lower neck, pushing in your lower neck. Do you get the idea? This is injured.
Right.
We're staying way off your occiput, way up here in your atlas. Shoulder down as best you can. I know it's tough. It's okay. Come on. All right, I'm done. I'm done. Let's go face down for me and then shirt off for me.
So that's what I'm here for, the fixing
I try to
because
give.
I've gotten all the big cracks and I still have the same freaking
Well, you don't
problems.
have. The first fallacy for 1895 to 1997, chiropractors taught that adjustments change posture. So, first of all, you weren't even aware you're supposed to have a curve, or to value it, or how to restore it.
Right.
The adjustment can't do it by itself. The adjustment is a tool to make the spine malleable so stretching can do it. And if you think about it, it was sitting and stretching forward that made you lose the curve in the first place.
Okay.
And it's the same way that you left is how you're going to arrive.
Now, how much does reflexology, like the foot and stuff, have to do with the pain and all that?
Can you ask more specific question? What do you?
Because I know they say that the foot, the bottom of the foot, like with the reflexology, they do that to help stop the pain in the back or in the head or something like that. Does that have anything to?
Right. So there are 4 parts to any nerve. We call them 2 mechano, 2 noci, meaning pain, noxious stimuli. Whenever you stimulate the mechanical receptors, you inhibit the nociceptors.
Okay.
So if you're having leg symptoms, it's like I'm going to two analogies. One, Three Stooges, when somebody whacked your elbow, but then they stepped on your foot. You don't feel the elbow as much anymore.
Right.
There's only so much information that can go down the street at one time.
Right.
So when you're stimulating neurology, you can cover up problems.
Okay.
Me rubbing your back right now, I'm not trying to cover up the problem. I'm trying to mechanically divert stress. So we're not just covering up pain per se. Does that make sense?
Right.
We're trying to get another part of your back bending better so you stop chewing on your lower back. So it's not symptom care, this is corrective care.
Okay.
The other way is like if you have a kid crying, but then you put music on. You can't hear you can cover up, does that make sense?
Right,
Symptoms
okay.
by muting it through other channels. And so that would be how I would primarily look at that.
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying it's not a great way to help get relief. And it's better than taking drugs, right? But it doesn't accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish for you here today.
Right.
I want your middle back working better. You don't have a curve in your lower back.
Does
that make sense? So every minute of our time together is going to be aimed at that, along with ear popping later. It's coming soon. Anyway, I was like, did you pop his ears? Do you?
Okay.
I'm just teasing. But you see, you came in today for relief of shoulder blade and lower back. I'm going to give you as much time in making those two areas better that I can possibly give you. And it takes stretching to restore curve. You can't do it through cracking bones. And so if they haven't been showing you how to mold and stretch, then we're just playing games. It's just real frozen right there. There's a nice lump. There is a website, Chiropractic Biophysics has on idealspine.com. There are guys like me that are all they're interested in is restoring those curves. And maybe we can find one of those guys in Miami you can get a consultation with.
Oh, that would be cool.
They probably won't do all the soft tissue work, but they're at least going to be putting you into the curve positions. Do you understand?
Right.
And the care is going to be at least focused on restoring the arches to your spine. All this is, the ribs are, the ribs here popped up here a little bit. Right there, that's a rib.
Middle back, upper.
What brings you in today? My upper neck feels tight on the left. My middle back feels tight on the left middle.
Okay.
Can you help me? And if they start digging down here, just say, I was told I have a disc herniation down here. Let's leave that alone.
Okay.
All right. There's a pretty good mark coming out. So the area that's the tightest will
Can
have
you
the
see
most.
that on
Yes.
my back?
Yeah.
Because I know, like,
Yeah.
you know, some people turn red. I don't know if I'm gonna.
No, it does. It's just grime. Right? That's the best. Is that a medical term? It's the best word for it.
That
It's
sounds-
gristle.
Sounds bad.
It's clogged. So when you're sitting, from now until things calm down at the very least, we're going to be sitting with something behind your back.
Okay.
I'm going to show you in a minute exactly what I want, but we need real pressure here. I got you. There we go. Oh, there you go. Good. Nice. Get the idea? Right? That probably hasn't moved in a long time. It's all right here. Oh, nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I've gotten it closer to where it's supposed to be. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
Now we want to hold it. Otherwise, it just goes right back out of alignment. And thanks, Ed. You made me feel better for a couple hours, and it's back again.
Right.
Right. So the orthodontist gives you a retainer to prevent your teeth from going right back to where they used to be. That's the component you've been missing. Is you've been missing the retainers. Those are called Denarolls, are the orthotics that retain the alignment. And the goal is to have enough care to make the Denarolls actually effective. If your back is so rigid, you can't actually mold on the retainers. Does that make sense? So you have to have care to make sure that your spine is supple. But for pain, it's just icing that ice right over the pain, right in that lower back on the right. Ice lay on your left side. Use your right hand or somebody help you at home. Ice cube massage right where that hurts. That'll help it feel better. There you go. When I comb up here, it just should feel pressure. There shouldn't be any pain.
Man, I've never had anyone pop the top of my neck before. That was really,
Yeah, we got it. You did good.
no, you did good.
You did good. Well, you got to be able to. It's a team effort because we both got to. If you don't let me move it, you're saying you're a strong guy. If you don't want a bone to move, believe me, I can't. It's a team effort. You got to let me move it.
Oh, wow.
So that's the on the right side.
Uh-huh.
That's where the shoulder blade pain you were describing. There's
Right.
inflammation in there. So part of it is in the area, and part of it is the lower neck.
Okay.
Yeah, we just look up again. Let me see again. Get your head back. Yeah, better. Yeah, getting your head back, just getting it. I want your upper neck participating. You're saying so you have not only just your lower neck doing it, but I want your upper neck working better.
Okay.
Tell them about just the ankles. It just gives out randomly, or
Yeah, it does.
Well, that's going to be connected with the nerve. Do you understand? The giving out is the muscle, the motor part of the nerve.
Right.
So it's not a coincidence that you have disc injury and flickering in the muscle function. Do you understand?
Right.
All of a sudden, the muscle doesn't work properly. There we go. Relax your leg. I got you. There you go. Good. All the stress off his lower back. Yeah, I want as much. If you can sit up for me again, I'm sorry. There we go.
Man, I was just able to sit up a whole lot easier than the first time.
Yeah, get your whole back working.
Yeah, that was dope.
You tried to do it. You tried to do it just with your lower back,
Uh-huh.
and I just spent a half hour beating up your middle back.
Right.
You gotta have. Lay your hand flat. You gotta have your middle back in the game.
Right.
You were all frozen in there.
Right.
No wonder your poor lower back's like help.
Right,
Is
right,
anybody
right.
here to? I got you. Tilt your head left for me a little bit. There you go. Good. Yeah. A little bit. Go ahead and tilt to the left. There we go. All right. All right, go ahead and tilt your head to the right. There we go. Go ahead and tilt a little bit to the right. Okay, good. Head back. There you go.
There we go.
Get the idea? I have about this much material behind your head.
Okay.
So I might even give them the smaller one so you don't have to put as much material. Leave the lower back alone.
Okay.
Put it, you have your range is from the bottom of your shoulder blades to middle back.
Okay.
This whole, and maybe you start up here for the first couple weeks.
Uh-huh.
Generally, if you were here in Sarasota, I would spend 5 visits beating you up on the table before I even put you on this.
Uh-huh.
I know because you're the distance, I'm trying to pack a lot into one visit here.
Mhm.
This is used seating. You bring it into Daruma, you bring it into restaurants. Do you understand?
Right.
Why are you always with that thing? This is my money. This is my money. Well, Dr. Ed, you said I could sit with a Denerol. First of all, I said I want you sitting as little as possible. You understand?
Okay.
If you have to sit, you must have support behind your back.
Okay.
That makes the middle back, it reminds your middle back to bend. So
Okay.
that not all the bending's happening in the bottom, your lower back's gonna start feeling great.
it becomes your Wilson.
It's gonna become your buddy. And this is for the neck. But the effectiveness of this right now is limited because there's not much weight on it. Because of your head being forward, if there's not as much pressure as it should be. As the chest comes in, this becomes more effective. Does that make sense?
Right.
Because the head is angled forward, there isn't much pressure on it. As we get your chest in, there's going to be more pressure on your neck and the neck strain. So I'd actually start off with the back one
Okay.
and then working on laying on your belly, arching up, trying to have your phone lifted up, being aware of your chin to your chest, not tucking your chin down.
Uh-huh.
Every time your chin comes down, you're putting the stress on your lower neck. So be as aware if you can. Daggone it, Ed, I did it again. you're going to be keeping your. You can live here forever.
Uh-huh.
It's and people think see I can still look straight forward, but I shouldn't have.
Right.
It's keeping your chin upwards or just straight forward and not walking around
Right.
with your chin down. I want you feeling pressure in there. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
And that'll take the stress off your lower back. Now you can do it higher if you want to. You can put it higher in the chair, up here. Does that make sense?
Right.
There's plenty of benefit from bottom of your shoulder blades down to. I just don't want it all the way in the lower back.
Okay.
I don't want it further loosening what's already loose. That makes
Right.
sense.
Okay. Yeah, like when I'm sleeping, I put a pillow in between my knees and stuff like
It's okay.
that to
It's okay.
relieve the pain and stuff like that.
Again, those are all compensations because your lower back at the end of the day has probably just had enough.
Right.
Your poor lower back's just anything to help me at this point. And I think a
Right.
lot of that need for that will go away as we redirect the stress to your middle back.
Okay. Thank you.